It's a beautiful morning. Nice day. Day after Christmas. We got another icy one. Frozen salad. Definitely not easy. Maybe some people adapt better, but in my experience, you're able to do it, but it doesn't get much easier. I also don't want to set a bad example like, oh man, in order to feel better, I have to get into an ice bath. And that's not true at all. How can I say this in a way? Like, it can almost be, I think, detrimental to people to see people doing this. Like, if this is motivational, great, but like, if it's not motivational, like, think about it for a second. I didn't start here. Almost nobody that you see doing hard things started with that hard thing. So like, just make it a point where you can do it. If you can get into an ice bath, great, but like, if you can only get into a shower that is like cool water for 30 seconds, great, start there. And you'll feel a little bit better. And then what'll happen is you'll adapt to that and you'll be like, I want to do something a little harder. And then you could build your way up just naturally to something that's more difficult. I think also people sitting in these things like, you gotta take this day by the horns and give all this motivational talk. Like, it's cool and all, and it helps some people, but as you can tell by New Year's resolutions, motivation doesn't work long term. It runs out. So if you need to be motivated like daily, it'll eventually run out. So I don't know how, I don't think I want this to be motivational for people. If it is, great, but more just like, maybe it's a little catchy and maybe this is a goal of yours and to be able to calmly sit in ice water. But the message I hope that gets to people is start with something small that is known to make you feel better. And like, cold water is known to have mood enhancing effects. So if you're feeling down this time of the year, I feel terrible. A lot of people feel terrible around the holidays. Just the stress of it. Like, you could use cold water to your advantage. You can get in that little cold shower. But the reason I'm showing it is, if it is motivational to people, or if it helps introduce this message, then that's why I'm showing it. Oh man. I hate to say this, but it's not that. I actually prefer it when it's a little bit warmer. Not because it's like so hard, because I haven't found any added benefit of going like super cold. Like right now my hands and feet just hurt a lot, and I have pretty good circulation and pretty good adaptation to cold water. So I almost wish that this wasn't ice water, but I don't have a choice right now. And I'm just saying that I wish it wasn't ice water, so people watching this for the first time, they don't just like, I can't do that, like it's too much. But you don't have to start in ice water. And I don't even really recommend it. I'm just doing it because it's all I have. Takeaway from today is just to start with something easier. New Year's resolutions will be all the talk soon. 80% of people fail in the first 3 weeks or whatever the stat is. Make the goal a little smaller. If you're having trouble getting started with things or knowing direction, also use ChatGPT. It's such a great tool. Just prompt it, tell it, hey, give your age, little details about yourself, and tell ChatGPT to act as your life coach, act as a therapist, life coach, or whatever, and help me get started on some of my goals, and give me a plan to make it the greatest likelihood of success. if you make a goal for the new year to go to the gym, I want to go to the gym 6 days a week, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds of fat, I'm gonna put on 20 pounds of muscle, all this, and you're just using willpower, like you haven't been able to do that in the past, now you're just gonna grind through it, the odds of success are very low. So, like maybe for some people that'll work, but for the people who have tried that and failed, and like we want to try something different, try something very small. Try like, if your goal is to do an ice bath because you see it and it looks cool, or because you believe the science that it does help with your mood and your mood has been struggling, then like, if you want to try that, great. But in my experience, people who like, I've had so many people plunge at me for the first time, and the harder it is, it seems like the less likely they are to come back. And I sure as shit didn't start on this. I never would have. I would have been scared, or like, it wouldn't have been possible. It seems too hard. And that's not being weak, it's just being smart. So I started with just like taking a regular shower, and then towards the end of it, I would start breathing like controlled and deep, and just not even going as cold as it got. I would go like, say like this is hot, this is like all the way cold. I would go in the middle where it's just like, that's enough. And like, it's enough to like take your breath away. And I would just stay on that breath. I have a little video on my shorts that shows like how to take a cold shower, but like sometimes I wouldn't even go right into it. I would like wet an arm, wet a leg, like just to get like acclimated a little bit while I was breathing, and then go into it fully. And then as you get more adapted, I would just take some deep breaths, let it hit my chest, and then get a little colder. There's no shame in that. Like, what does it make a difference if you're starting in an ice bath or starting there? Like, this is a long-term, this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's cool for social media to just post like this like fun, hard challenge, but if you want like real health benefits from it, they come from the consistency, not from the one day that you show up at your friend's house to do an ice bath. And like, this is just a modality to feel better. It's not for your ego, or it's not a trend. It's just to feel better. So like, if you feel great and you're not interested in it, cool, you don't have to do that. Like, you'll still get like value from doing it, but you don't have to. But if you are feeling off, it's something that enhances your mood and changes how you feel to stress. And what I mean by that is like, when stressful things inevitably happen, you'll still feel it. Just like I still feel cold when I go in it, but it doesn't like throw you as much. It's like you have a little bit of armor on or something. Like, as you get stronger, just think about it. Like, when a kid hits you and you're an adult, it doesn't hurt as bad because you're stronger. So like, this changes how strong you are to stress, because it is a powerful stressor. So I started in some showers. I think that's a great place to start for most people. And then it's the winter now, so if you do like it and you progress fast, you could just get like from Tractor Supply, like a big tub or an inflatable. Problem with the inflatables is they're made of PVC, which is toxic. This one isn't. This one is mine, actually. I made it. So I don't really recommend inflatables because they leach chemicals into the water. So you get like a solid tub from Tractor Supply, and just fill it with hose water, and then just dump it in a couple weeks when it gets a little nasty. But if you have any questions, like if you're doing research or looking to start doing cold water therapy, my hope is that the comment section, or like if we make a group or something, that it's not just me helping people, it's that like the community helps each other. So ask questions. If I can answer them, I will. If not, maybe people that are also interested in this have answers for you.